Now, as you can see in the title, today's vlog is called I'm Not For Everybody. I'll get to explaining to that in a bit, just hang tight. As for today, what I mean by I'm not for everybody is I see things a little bit different and have kind of a different understanding of this car stuff between Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and real life in general. We'll touch those phases. So with step one in real life, you know, I'm a firm believer of helping people find what they want instead of spoon-feeding them answers. Now you can comment below in the category 1 whether you believe with this or not. You know, I had a good talk with my buddy Jay Lou one time, and he's like, I'm all for giving people the answer they need. But I'm a very firm believer that if you help somebody find what they're looking for, then they can go ahead and take that knowledge and it retains with them. For example, if you're trying to learn something, let's say a language, I'll branch off to language, as you know, understanding your car, because understanding your car is a language in a sense that we speak versus other people. Like for example, if you're using a translator when you go to France, for example, and you keep using that translator to get you out of a tough situation, you're not practicing French. You're using the translator to help you, which is a crutch. Now, if you were to spend extra time looking up basic conversations, because you look for that, there was the will to, you know, learn something that will now stick with your mind for a little while longer. As Wayno has said as well, you know, if you search for something, it's ingrained in you. You will now know that. And once you know the rules of how something works, you can then further bend it. I've come from not knowing cars from back in the day at Team Integra, to then having my first SC, which again, I knew nothing about cars, to then, you know, talking with car friends, learning on Facebook from all their flops with the performance stuff, to where I can still talk about cars in the car language, but I may not know 100% what I'm talking about, but hey, it's gotten me there. So another thing I've noticed is that I'm one of few into body kits. I know a lot of you won't understand this because it's just, in a sense, when you buy something, it's already made. All you have to do is install it, review whether it's, hey, how easy was it to paint? How easy was it to install? What's fitment like? And, you know, durability, all that good stuff. You know, I remember people were riding the KVD train for a while. You know, Irving was the hero of the SCs. Like, oh man, he's offering KVD, you know, Vertex, this and that. And then all of a sudden, once it got popular, people just threw it out the window. Like, hey, you know, it's that Me Too movement. Like, hop on a Me Too because you don't like it, I don't like it. Now I know some people have had issues, but that's beyond the point. So back in like 2012, 13, around there, you know, I wanted different taillight styles. With this car, we're very limited, as I've always been told, beyond performance stuff. 1 second, vehicle's driving by. So with there being limited stuff, I told myself, why not I be the one to make something? So if you guys noticed, back in 2014, I think I sealed my lights up. I think it was like 2013, 2014. I made a set of custom tail lights. And I'm like, dude, these look great. They're not too ricey. They're built off OEM. They fit like OEM. And from there, you know, after that, I was looking for an Elite Enterprise body kit that was hard to find. If you guys remember, my original kit, I'll put it over here somewhere, or over here, which has more screen real estate. I modified that too. And it blows my mind how most of these guys can mechanically modify the car for more horsepower, but when it comes to like body kits and the design of the car, you can do the same. One of my buddies on Facebook, Ali, boy, let me tell you, when I saw he had a Bomex front bumper cleaned up. Like, he got rid of all those bubbles. If you guys know what I'm talking about, there's like these huge, like, bubbly tubes that go around the lip side of the Bomex kit, and he kind of flattened that out like it was OEM 97, and it looked gorgeous. And you guys know I really don't care for 97 plus like that. Like, it's cool, I understand it, but at the same point, it's not. I don't desire it. But going off of that, you know, with this body stuff, you know, even looking on YouTube, everybody's going, oh, 500 horsepower of this, 600 horsepower of that. I mean, even Texas 2K is somewhere probably. If you don't have a car around 1,800 horsepower, you ain't, why show up? You know what I mean? It's all about the numbers pumping out. Nobody's pumping out quality body kits. Now, we'll speak about that a little bit more. Body kits. What really got me onto that? And like I said, after searching on YouTube, you don't see too many people investing in body kit stuff or doing this stuff unless they're a major company or there's somebody with a similar passion trying to do that. I'm a firm believer of, if you feel a spark or you're inspired by somebody to do it, hang around those type of people. I told somebody before, hey, you know, nobody's really doing anything inspiring for me in the SC or SOAR community. And I mean no shade at that. Not at all. That horsepower stuff is great, but to me, when power comes to mind, it's when I need a safe enough amount of power to get on the freeway. If my wife and my child is in the car with me and there's an 18-wheeler going the same speed I am on the freeway, and if I can't brake it, do I have enough power to get in front of that car? So if you're at this channel expecting me to have a fast car one day, maybe one day I'll invest in GTE once, or even NAT once things get going. But then it's not for me. I really don't care for it. So, I mean, there's plenty of other dudes I can show you the way, with their GTE swaps where, you can appreciate that if that's what you're looking for, because you definitely won't find it here for a while at least. Yeah, it started out with my first kit, wherever there's screen real estate, I'll put it. Elite Enterprise, and a set of taillights I made back in like 2013, 2014. And I started realizing it, Colonel Sanders, I'll use him as an example to intro to this, was 80 years old when he was tired of fried chicken through other people. And he decided to make his own. I'm at that point as well. If I'm going to be in, the SC scene or whatever for 5 plus, 10 plus, 11 plus years, and I'm not taking things into my own hands, what's the problem at that point? In the car scene, there's reactors and there's creators. I'd rather not be a reactor. I go to every other page, whether it's Stance Nation, whether it's what, you post something, everybody can just react. What effort does that take? And chances are, people are talking about things they don't like instead of things they do like. I guarantee you, if I were to show you a picture of my car right now, you could probably say 5 things you don't like about it versus saying 3 things you do like about it, easier with the negative, because that's how humans are wired for some weird reason. If you can't say something nice at all, go get a dictionary, find out how to describe yourself, be more open. If you have any trauma with your parents, brothers, or somebody, figure that out to where you're comfortable with expressing yourself in a positive way. Other people may get mad when they hear that. I got no problem showing love to people where they get it. Even the people I don't like, and they have a nice car, I'm not afraid to say, hey, your car's right, nice, but you're still a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with that. So what I'm trying to get at is, I'm at that point to where I feel like, instead of waiting for somebody to make something I want, why not take a sketch that's been on paper, then digitalize and computer into reality? There are no rules saying you can't do that, but people swear that it is. Like, for example, with my front. It's more to show people it can be done. A lot of you fail to realize the history of the why I respond the way I do. When I was making this, a lot of people told me you can't do it. Stop doing it when I made progress, and once it was done, how'd you do that, man? Can you make one for me? It's about showing people what can be done. Because, let's face it, if you're going to spend your time on forums or Facebook fellowship, all you're going to learn how to do is repeat history. Hey, what's your wheel fitment? Okay, cool. We got the basic geometry formula for what wheels will fit as long as you roll your fenders and not pull them. And then from there, it's just a math equation, a word problem, which we all been through in grade school. Whoop-de-doo. When it comes to stuff like this, you're now seeing something that hasn't really done before, and for the car in particular. And now people start thinking, okay, that's how it's done. If it's done proper, I can do that. And it's as example. It's not my fault if you want it, but you don't want to execute the work. Again, if you don't want to put in the work for it, don't complain. If somebody else is doing something you want, but you're not doing it, that's like going to your favorite restaurant and buying a salad, whereas you're mad over here. Oh, look at that restaurant over there. They're selling ribeye steak. How come, he won't give it to us? Because one, that's his specialty. It's like culinary school when it comes to this car. You build your meal or your set of skills depending on what you like, in a sense. You know what I mean? And that's what you serve. This is my specialty. If it's not yours, great, you don't like it. But how are you going to complain if you want it, but you're not even going to figure out, like, there's literally people that won't go to the source and ask, hey, how did you do this? They'll go to other people that have done research on it, and it's like, dude, you know, these Facebook guys, again, I feel I'm so blessed because they lack experience. Hey, this is this guy's cars because of this, that, and that. He did this, that, and that. Whereas I can say, I've been there, I've done that, I did this. And it's like, dude, if you're not speaking through experience, shut your mouth. Because you're just regurgitating what you read. Prime example, Jeremy Clarkson. Great journalist, don't get me wrong. Derek, if you're watching this, I know you're going to be mad. And it's like, the SC430, the worst car in the world. But he was upset and trying to compare it to an LFA. The SC430 is not a race car. The SC430 is a GT car, a Grand Tour, a Super Grand Tour if you take the roots from a SOAR, a Super Gran Turismo as they call it in Japan. On top of that, Lexus loved this car so much, or Toyota, that they called it the Eternal Jewel. You don't nickname a car, or anything for that matter, if you don't have strong feelings, positive or negative about it. And something called Eternal Jewel, it sounds like they want to eternalize what they love for this car. Now, on to the Facebook side of things, I guess you could say, from real life in a sense. Use Facebook with a grain of salt, man, I'm telling you guys these days. Like, the way it's set up, like right now, there's people complaining about the prices of the SC. And it makes no sense to me. You already have the car, the product, or whatever it is. And these people selling their car for more, if they sell it for more and theirs is more beat up than yours, that obviously means you can get more for yours, correct? And on top of that, like, you're bashing your own car. The problem with Facebook and people in real life, it's like, we all deal with stuff in real life. I understand that. And at what point do you think, hey, there's a bunch of guys that not only like cars, but guys that have the same vehicle as you. Hey, I had a bad day at work. Hey, the kids were acting up. Hey, my wife is stressing me out. Or, hey, there's financial issues going on. Or, hey, my grandma, grandpa is sick, or parents or something. You think I'd be able to commute, you know, not commute, but fellowship with others and get some stress off my head? Nope. Everybody just wants to talk stuff here and there. And I understand that it's kind of a way for people to quote unquote get along or whatever. But honestly, it's like some of y'all really need to calm down. You know, are we all in 5th grade all over again, trying to make fun of somebody to make friends with them? Be an adult. Communicate how you really feel instead of sending up some dry jokes or hates, covering it up as a joke because you really don't know, you know, what you want to do or what you want to say because you don't like this person. If you don't like this person, hey, I don't like you, block them. It's kind of like changing the channel back in the day. MASH came on TV, you know what I did? Change the channel or turn it off. It's that simple. I don't know why it's so hard for kids these days, or even grown-up men, to figure, hey, whatever, you know, if you got something going on, why put it on other people? I don't know. But I would definitely use Facebook and forums as a basis to absorb as much as you can, like a sponge. Learn, learn, learn. Again, I didn't know much about cars. I had a previous SC before this, and that's how I started networking with people, and I'm not going to say got to where I am, but being as decently known as I am between the SC community, I started with a 92 automatic, bought the car before I even sold cars, tire had a slice in it, drove it an hour and a half home, didn't ask the guy at the dealer, hey, can you change this tire so I can get home safe? Paid for that on my own when it should have been under the dealership. It was on safe to sell. So again, understand your cars, understand your community, because once you understand your community, you'll know the difference between people you just need to keep at a distance and admire the work they do for their car, people you need to stay away from, or people that will become like family. I've met plenty of people around the world, gone on trips in different countries. I mean, even in Guam, I met a few people out there too. And it's like, they were who they were. They don't need to be fake about it. Like, hey man, I'm trying to figure out, all the SC dudes want to figure out about you. Like, why are you being a creepo stalker at that point, trying to figure out how somebody is for somebody else when they can easily access you to Messenger on Facebook or DMs? I mean, do you not know how to initiate conversation? That's simple. So that's the Facebook portion of this. Which then gets me into my next segment. Let's talk about the YouTube. If I ever get out of line and start a vlog that's 30 minutes, 20 minutes of me going around, and the last 10 minutes going over the subject of like, hey, new wheels, you guys, I want you to go into my comment section and tell me, dude, this is some BS. I'm not going to pull your string like that like these other guys. If we're on a vlog going somewhere, it may be just chopping it up with you guys like I am now, or hey, we're on a mission to go get this car, so I'll take you on the drive with me, but I'm not going to be, hey, let's go to the store, oh, this and that, wheels are at home. No. On top of that, it's a lot of the words crazy and insane just being thrown out there when it's not. Hey, dude, check out the crazy wide body FRS. Like, bro, ain't nothing new about your wide body FRS since 2013. You bought the kit, you put it on. Even then, people mold the kit, but they don't understand. They don't make it mold to fit the body lines of the car. If you guys look at most Rocket Bunny kits, the reason why they look so good on the Lexus RC or the FRS is because it follows 80 to 85% of the native lines there. Now, I guarantee you, and you probably can't, other than maybe Stance Nation X Aim Game kit that flows with the body, that blends into the body lines, the wide body kit. You can find any IS with the Rocket Bunny kit even molded, but you'll see the lines broken, which is why it's such a sensitive subject on this car between SOAR and SC guys. Hey, you break the lines, it doesn't look good. This car is very organic, and it's to the point to where even I understand that if you stretch something in the front, you got to increase the height somewhere else. It's a proportionate thing with this car, which you got to keep eye on design, which they've stated in their dealership video. So again, YouTube stuff. I'm gonna bring you guys just me, what I am, how I view things, and basically teach you about this car. Whatever else comes, it is what it is. Also, if you guys have an older car like me in the 90s, do not feel afraid or worried because everybody's trading their car up for something else. Lex King posted something, I think Mike and Fresh Kicks were going in about it. They're like, I'm tired of this car, you know, I'm ready to get something else. And Lex was like, you guys get no seat time. Even if you guys are NA, drive your cars, enjoy your cars. That's what we do. If you've got to take off your suspension and drive your car 6 times a day, do so till you dial it in where it's at. And personally, I feel these older cars have more character to them because there's a little bit more to be offered. With these newer cars, they have new car problems, as I like to call it. You have the generic splitter lip kit for the side skirts and diffuser the front. You're going to wrap it, you're going to drop it on air. That's it. Hey guys, you're buying into the same thing on the YouTube. Hey guys, got my dream car, RX-7. We're going to turbo it, add some work wheels from Japan, put it on air suspension, and then we're going to wrap it. Okay, that generates enough revenue. What do? Hey guys, got my other dream car, Toyota Supra. We're going to put some work wheels on it, turbocharge it, air suspension, and wrap it. Enough revenue joints from that. Hey guys, got my dream car. We got an R34 GTR. We're going to put some work wheels on it, turbocharge it, air suspension, and wrap it. It's the same gimmick. Where's the love for these cars? Where's the passion for these cars? To where you want to keep it and do something with it. Something a bit unorthodox. Not saying you have to, but let's just say a lot of these Japanese companies, when they started doing stuff, it was a coffee shop, a cigarette, a ballpoint pen, and some napkins. Nowadays, we're so spoiled with renders, Photoshops, CAD designs, to the point where even designers, like freelance designers like Kaisel, I'm sorry if I butcher your name, are sort of influencing people that can now design cars. On top of that, designs are homogenized. You got people from BMW working for Kia, people from America working in Toyota, Nissan, etc., to where these cars have no characteristics. And I think we need to go back to basics, which I've been doing. Most of you notice one of my biggest gripes while not having a car was not bringing my sketchbook with me to Japan about the ideas I would have to put to this car. So I took it back to sketchbook and Photoshop and then have a buddy of mine render it. So again, I'm not for everybody. I'm not going to be the fastest car out there. I'm going to go at my own pace. I'm a family man now. Things will still be happening, not as quick as I want, but this car's not my priority. I'll still fellowship with you guys that are cool. If I keep my distance from you, just know I don't want you involved with myself, my family, or even seeing them at that point. But I'll appreciate your car at that point. I'll let you know. And if you got beef with me, hit me up on IG in the DMs. We could talk about it IG Live and crush it. You know what I mean? Nothing, if you don't see eye to eye, a heart to heart could definitely fix it. But a lot of you aren't at that grown up part yet to where you can talk with people in the first place, which is why you come out of left field on people's IG and you're brave behind a keyboard. And we'll leave it at that. Anyways, guys, that's my vlog for today. I'm not for everybody. Comment below what you think. I still got to bring you the seat belts, but I'm working on floppy mirror next. If you guys pay attention to my IG, follow me on mikkel.jpg if you want to get to know me better, but I'm going to try to keep these videos just straight to the point of what I want to talk about and go from there. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.